Okay, thank you a lot for joining on this event. PowerPoint has better. So this is an event done by the community, the local community of Barcelona. In terms of the intention was to help the students and getting some information from already people that have graduated and have started their careers. Let me present you shortly. The event team is the group of us is Sida and Marta. Ryan couldn't attend, and the rest of the local members that have assisted to that event couldn't attend either. My name is Evangelos. I'm the local manager of the community of Barcelona. So the event is gonna be the structure of the event is rather simple. You can see now the agenda. Actually, the intro is what I'm doing right now. And then we will start with the speakers, the alumni, all right? Beginning with Chloe, then with Dimitrios. Then we will go ahead with Aurelia, Daniel, and at the end, Balaji, all right? Then we'll have a short feedback, sorry? A short feedback session that will be coordinated by Sid regarding some questions and a feedback that would allow us to present something better next time, because we are planning to have that as a speaker series with many participants, many graduate students as participants. And at the end, you're gonna have a Q&A. Please keep Q&A in a general format, not in a specific speaker, let's say, more in a general format, and then you're gonna have the opportunity with a follow-up email that we're gonna send you to contact the speakers personally and ask anything more that would you like, all right? In that point, I want to ask the speakers to try to answer those questions, all right? That we thought as a event team that will be helpful for you. We would like not just to give you general instructions or something that you might already know, but something more personal, because it's like from an alumni, an InnoEnergy alumni, to an InnoEnergy student, which is we would like to have more value on that, all right? So I would ask the speakers to try to answer these three questions. First, what would they suggest? Give some good tips in the first and second year students. That could be anything. We are a bit general, but you can really give here something really valuable to the students. Second, what was important for the junior, meaning during the process, what benefit the most, what make the difference, what even for them was valuable, not only for their careers, maybe something related to personal development, or could be anything, not just career-wise, all right? And then which was the most challenging thing? Could be a period, could be, I don't know, a project, could be, I don't know, the winter of Stockholm or anything else, all right? So without any further ado, please go ahead and start. Remember the numbering, all right? Chloe, Dimitrios, Aurelia, Daniel, and Balaji, all right? Thank you very much for joining, and I hope you enjoy.
You need to allow me as a...
Yeah, I'm leaving, starting now. You can go ahead.
Can you see?
Yes, yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So hi everyone. I'm Chloe. I graduated from Select 1 year ago. And I'm sorry because I made a very bad presentation, but it's okay. So I did my first year in Stockholm and the second one in Barcelona. And I mean, as you can see, it doesn't change a lot from one place to the other. And so what I did in the middle, during summer, from between my first and second year, I went to Tanzania to build a wind turbine, basically, with Engineers Without Borders. So this was not like an InnoEnergy program, but so in KTH, there are a lot of opportunities also to get involved in different groups and association, whatever you want. So I had the chance actually to get in touch with Engineers Without Borders. And I was one of the few members left of the group at the end of the year. So because we worked from Stockholm all the year. And so I also went to Tanzania. And it was a kind of traumatic experience, I have to say, but it helped me to grow a lot. Yeah. So, I mean, my suggestion is that you have a lot of, compared to Italy, so I'm Italian and I did my bachelor there. In Stockholm, there were way more opportunities to do extracurricular things. Even, I mean, you can do an internship, but you can also find like activities, kind of things. And it actually, I found it like very cool. And in Italy, this is not very evident. Actually, in university, you just go to class and that's all, basically. And nothing. So this helped me actually a lot as a person, even, I mean, if it was not all beautiful and flower power, I have to say. And then, so in Select, now you will all know that in Select we travel a lot, we do amazing trips. So actually, yes, the second year, I went to Africa again, but to Senegal. And this time we were doing a project with a company there to try to find a market for solar water pumps. And again, we had a lot of chance because when we went there, we were actually able to kind of build a solar water pump system. And in this case, from both experience, I have to say that what helped me a lot, that was very different from from the curricular work you do when you're at university. It's like a very practical experience. So for me, engineering was always like seeing equation and books and these kind of things. And in both cases, we were able actually we tried to build a system and connecting solar power like to electric cables. I mean, something that in reality, when you work, you do, but in university, you don't really have the chance to do. And I think this, was also a kind of important part from the technical point of view, but also, I don't know, like living like a real experience like this was very cool, no? And I think that these kind of things, this is thanks to InnoEnergy, no? Are like the most important, no, but the most helpful like part that you get thanks to the master you're doing. And then, so after this, I did a thesis in control of wind farms. I don't have any thought about it because it's not that exciting to show, but I also learned a lot. So I don't know, I like what I tried to do in all the master. I didn't have a clear like vision of what I wanted to do like in the renewable energy sector. So I tried to try a lot of different things actually. So I did a very technical thesis in a research center, and then with Engineers Without Borders, I tried to work in a project that was more like social also, because you get to know like a different world actually, and that's all. And then now, so I'm working for a utility in the innovation department. It's actually the perfect job for a Select because you're not very specific or very technical in anything, but we do a lot of things. So I change like topic every 2 days. Basically, one day I work for the generation part of my company and I'm doing innovation there. So I don't know, I'm building a new solar PV plant. And then another day I work with smart grids and these kind of things. And so I got this job through contacts also because basically the company that no one knows apart probably in Catalonia and some people was doing a project with InnoEnergy is doing a project with InnoEnergy every year. So we kind of know the company for that. So I had the chance to apply, and then they got me. And yeah, so I don't know the take off of my journey. I think most of all the network you make. Because you have the chance to make a lot of friends, but that then will become not only your friends, because at the end we will most of all work in the same sector, and actually you get the possibility to see your ex-classmate like in events. I don't know, for example, at the utility week last year, I met a lot of my classmates that were there like for work also. And it's very nice, and yeah. So I mean, the contacts you make, I think it's maybe very basic to say, no, that your friends are or the contacts you make is the best thing of InnoEnergy. But I think for me it's actually true, no. And now also I have the chance in Estavanei, which is my company, to work with other 5 persons of InnoEnergy that were not really my friends before, but I knew them from some events of kind of things. And I don't know, I think it helps to create like an environment that is, so you are working with people that have the same vision as you, for example, because it's not that obvious that even in a utility that says that, yeah, renewables, amazing, all these kind of things, and not everyone has this vision of we are kind of fighting against climate change or these kind of things. It's not that obvious, but when you get to work with people that did the same experience as you and that more or less your same vision, it's actually different. Yeah, you kind of motivate each other, and I don't know. And then at the end, the environment is way more friendly. And I mean, for me, like most of the days, I'm not going to work, but I'm spending some time with my friend, and we are also working. And yeah, so I mean, this is my advice, to try to get the most from the people that are around you, because it will be also very helpful when you finish the master, and not only, I mean, also during the master, but yeah, that's all.
Okay. Thank you a lot, Chloe, for sharing your information. Dimitri, you can go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Vangelis. Hi from Denmark. My name is Dimitris, and let me just share my screen. Okay, now I believe that you can see my screen. So, my name is Dimitris Dimitropoulos. I am from Greece. And at the moment, I am a PhD fellow at Aalborg University in Denmark. I studied the master program of InnoEnergy in smart electrical networks and systems. Also, what is called the SENSE. I finished in 2019, like Vangelis and Balaji, who is one of the speakers after me. And the main this program focuses mostly in power system technology. I studied at KTH during the first year in Sweden, and then the second year I was in Barcelona at UPC. Oh, yeah. During the first year, we did some workshops and winter schools, which was one of some of the most interesting experiences for me. In fact, we traveled for 1 week at Grenoble in France. We spent there almost 3 to 4 days, and then we went to Barcelona at UPC, where in both cities we did a workshop which lasted for almost a week. And also in December we did a winter school at AGH. This is a technical university in Krakow, and we did there a course in power quality. And this picture is from our trip to Grenoble. I remember that this restaurant was excellent food. And the main, let's say, the main benefit from these trips was, for me, basically was that we had an insight of how other universities function and how they are organized. And it was a nice experience for us because we started to build our connections through these workshops and through these trips. After the first year, my program did the summer school in a SADE business school. I think that most programs do that. We spent 3 weeks in Barcelona during the summer, and mainly we did courses on a daily basis, which were mostly related to entrepreneurship. And after that, my second year, as I mentioned before, was in Barcelona, where I did my internship at IREC. This is the Institute of Energy of Catalonia. And after that, I did my master thesis at RISE in Sweden. Here is my first tip for those who are students at the moment, at their first or second year. And my advice is that you can choose to do your master thesis wherever you want. I think that also Chloe did her thesis somewhere, not in Barcelona, but somewhere else. So it's the same here. I chose to do my thesis in Sweden, and especially on the research field at RISE, mainly because I wanted to follow a research career as a PhD in the academy. So I did my thesis at RISE, and then I was examined in UPC because the examination is at the host of the second year. And here is a very nice picture of our graduation ceremony in Leuven. It took place last year in 2019. Very nice experience. I think this is the most the moment in which you take the pleasure of all your achievements during these 2 years, because during these 2 years we spent much time and much effort in order to manage to reach to this very moment. And it was a nice experience because I met all of my past classmates from my master program. I think that during this period it will be hard for such a ceremony to be held, but I hope that after things get better, such ceremonies will also take place in the future. Now, at the moment, as I told you, I'm a PhD fellow at Aalborg University. Actually, I work on a Marie Curie project, which is funded by Horizon 2020. It's a European project. It is called WingGrid, and mainly the scopus of the project, the aim of the project is to study the wind farm technology and wind power penetration to the grid. I mainly study wind turbine modeling and the stability analysis on a small signal and large signal stability scale. But the main concept is to study how renewable energy, wind power energy can be penetrated to the grid and to retain the stability of the grid. In this project, Aalborg University is one of the main partners, but also many other partners are involved, not only from the academy, such as Aalborg University or DTU and Imperial College, but also many partners from the industry, such as ABB, Vestas, Ørsted. Those are companies which are related to the wind power technology. So mainly my project has my project has through my project I have the chance to collaborate with academic and industrial partners at the same time. So here are the tips that I want to give to you and to the younger students, to the students of the master programs from InnoEnergy. As I mentioned before, you can do your thesis wherever you want. That's a very good tip, because you can choose the place, and the place is of vital importance because maybe you want to work after finishing your thesis there. Also, what Chloe said, it was very important. Take advantage of the connections you will make. These connections might be your professors. It might be the people with whom you will collaborate in the industry while doing your master thesis, but they will also be your classmates who will help you in case they have found a position in the industry, and they can act as a reference for you. Also, if you have a very good performance in certain courses or in your thesis, the people who acted as your supervisors who will be very good references for you. In addition, I would suggest to choose very carefully the topic of your master thesis, because this will be your most important work, and this will be you will be asked to, if you are asked to send a piece of your work, mainly you will send your results of your master thesis project. So this is of vital importance. And my third tip is a general tip, which is to try to build a profile from the very beginning that will match your future career, the career you want to follow after finishing your studies. From my perspective, since I wanted to follow to work on the research field, I chose to do my internship in a research center, and then I chose to do my thesis in a research center as well, in the power system sector. So I tried from the beginning of the second year to try to build such a profile. So this is an advice that I want to give you. If, for instance, you want to go for a career in the automotive sector, try to work on projects on that sector. So these were the things that I wanted to say to you. Here are my contact details, my email, and if you want to ask me something more specific, you can send me an email, and I will try to answer you as fast as I can.
Thank you, Dimitris. One thing, that the emails will be shared, as I said, the emails will be shared with you in a follow-up email. But as Balaji suggested to me, you can write down some question in a general format. Keep that in mind, because the Q&A session will be really short, and then you can go ahead and email anyone. Write it down in the chat so the speakers can prepare themselves to answer. All right. So we can go ahead with Aurelia. Okay.
Yeah, I go. Yeah. Let me share screen. Let me know if you can see the screen, please.
Yeah.
Can you see it? Yeah? Okay. Right. All right. So thank you for the invite. It's very nice to have the chance to meet with the current students, even though it's virtually, such as the context. And it's great to see as well alumni from InnoEnergy that I haven't heard from long. So thank you for the invite. Just to introduce a bit myself, I am originally from close to Barcelona, and this is where I'm living now. So I came back to the origins after the whole InnoEnergy journey. So let me go through my academic and professional career up to date. My background is in chemical engineering, and I did it in UPC in Barcelona. Is also part of the master program. And my last year of bachelor, I was granted a scholarship to do my senior thesis in University of California, Irvine. And this is actually where I started to get passionate about power and sustainability. The thesis was was in the Advanced Power and Energy program. So that is where I started to look for masters related to this topic. And a few months after coming back from the US, I joined a select master program, doing my first year in UPC in Barcelona. In parallel with the courses and projects that we had in the first year, I researched for a remunerated internship, firstly because I needed some economic support as well, And second, because I wanted to explore the academia world, because I was by that time considering doing a PhD. So this came from the research that I had done in US, and I wanted to check myself if I quite liked. And I got into INTE, which is the Institut de Técnicas Energéticas. In English, it's like Institute of Energy Technology. It's a research group collaborating with UPC as well. And I did projects from October to July. So it was through the whole first year of master. Looking back, to be honest, it became a bit hard to combine all the courses and projects and research in the laboratory, because it was in a laboratory. It was hard to combine it all together, and the spare times were quite reduced at that time. But luckily, even though I had a total amount of hours to complete in the research, it was flexible, and I could adapt it by periods as well. So that was good. The first year as well, as I think all the programs, as previous speakers have mentioned, we also had the crash course of innovation and entrepreneurship in ESADE, which is part of the curriculum. And then in the second year, I chose the specialization of combined energy systems in KTH in Stockholm. And already since September, I think it was around September, I already started to look for the thesis that I could do. In contraposition with the research that I had done, like in a laboratory and everything, I wanted to check myself in the company. So I was looking for internships in company by that time. And I think it was around September or October, I attended at the Eco Summit event held in Stockholm. It's an event where different smart startups in the green ecosystem go to accelerate and find collaboration and co-investment between them. So I basically helped with the organization of the event as an ambassador. It was nothing too complicated, but I took it as a chance to look for different opportunities that I could get to the internship. And there actually I found the CTO of Phoenix Biopower, who is, it is an InnoEnergy startup as well. And actually they are located in the InnoEnergy office in Stockholm. And they actually had a project between hands by that time that was fitting a master thesis scope. So I basically started my thesis already in November. It was first starting internship, and then it moved to the thesis topic. Then in the second year, as some of you already know, Select program has a course dedicated entirely on doing a project through the whole year in collaboration with stakeholders. The first year, this is called Project of the Year, POI, and in the second is called Integrated Project of the Year. So together with my colleagues, we worked on the project integration of sustainable energy in Sumba Island. And it was in collaboration with the stakeholder of HIVOS, who is an NGO, a Dutch NGO, and Sumba Hospitality Foundation. I was lucky enough to go to the field trip. It was around March, visiting the island and gathering information for the project. Additionally, we also had Select fall seminars and spring seminars, as well as the kickoff in Germany. And here it comes when you wonder, so what about now? What about after these 2 years? So even though I had the feeling that I had tested different, not sectors, but different types of businesses, from research, academia, to a startup, I really didn't know what was the kind of job position that I was searching for, or the department that I could better fit at. And that's why I started to look for graduate programs at that time. I don't know if you are aware of what a graduate program is, but it consists of, it's not an internship at all. It consists of a job position where during approximately between 1 and 2 years, you rotate from departments, so that in one hand, the company invests in you, as you can get a broad vision of how the company works. And then on the other side, you can test yourself as well what is where you can fit better at, or what is the department that you like the most. And that's what I have been doing from my end of the InnoEnergy Master School and today. I have been rotating from different departments in Sparax-Sarco. Sparax-Sarco, sorry, I didn't mention, it's a multinational engineering company, and they deal with STEAM systems. So they are manufacturing and providing and commercializing products applied in STEAM technology. It goes from pharma sector to food and beverage sectors, and mainly they are using STEAM as a heating media. They are also investing a lot in sustainability projects nowadays. So that comes my first tip to you. Do not close your mind about looking for jobs only in the energy sector, because I'm not the only one. Some of my colleagues from Select have ended up in companies where there are like sustainability departments as well, and there's a lot to be done in that field. So I was not considering that by the time I was studying, but I have been checking out this afterwards. So do not close your choices. Actually, I'm showing this map to you because in the application process of the graduate program, it was quite tough. And I was lucky because I was not competing with experienced people. All of us who were applying to that position, it was one single position, and we were about 50 applicants for this position in Barcelona. I was competing with other master students or people who had ended up the master program by that time. And believe me that the opportunities and different projects and different stakeholders collaboration that InnoEnergy is providing to us, it's not very regular in the master's programs in general. So this is the exact map that I was presenting to my application process, and they were quite, the response from the managers that I was presenting to was quite positive. So I encourage you to not underestimate the different experiences that we get through the master, because they are really important. And I was not realizing before I did this, like this checkup of the different projects that I had been doing. And this is another slide that I also presented. Through the 2 years of Select Master, we did more than 15 projects coming from interdisciplinary students. So a lot of us come from different backgrounds. I'm not selling the master program to you. I'm just telling you what you already have, and maybe we are not taking the value from. Coming from intercultural mix, this is of great importance to multinational companies, because of course you need to collaborate with different countries, same department, different regions, etc. And also important, we did distance-based projects, especially the integrated project of the year, where we were working from 4 different locations because we were spread around different universities. And here are some of my tips. I already mentioned the first one, not to underestimate the experience that we get. The possibilities in the job market are more than the ones I was considering in the master. As I mentioned to you, in my head, I only have the energy sector. And I see now in an engineering company that there's lots of sustainability projects going on, and they are actually considering my profile for some of that projects. So it's good. Be curious and active at any events or activities. You will get a takeaway. It might be a contact. It might be, for example, in my case, it was the contact of the startup that I would end up doing my master thesis. It can be a friend. It can be free beer as well. It can be a nice time together. So do not get static and move through these 2 years. Take advantage of your colleagues by learning from them. I agree with Chloe and the previous speakers. The first benefit that I get is the colleagues. I mean, they have become friends, and take advantage of this time with them, because I'm missing them very much. But it's also very important that they will become a huge and a very important network for you in the following years. that can support you, giving you, for example, some opportunities, or helping you with something that they have already worked on, or anything. Get in touch with them and collaborate with them, enjoy with them, party with them, and do everything you can. And the most challenging thing for me was the choices. The first choice was enrolling in the master in InnoEnergy, because I had another alternative that could be staying in US doing a PhD. It was a hard decision. And the second hard decision was ending my master thesis, looking for a job. I didn't know where to find. And the suggestion for me is, don't rationalize too much. I don't know if this word exists, I hope it does, about important decisions, and actually let your instinct guide you too. Somehow we have perceptions, even though you have a great opportunity with a great company, if you have the feeling that the second opportunity is not as good as the first one, but the team with it's giving you good resonance, and you think that you can fit better in that team, the colleagues at work are very important. So take that into consideration, and try to balance as well all the points that you have in the schematics that before you choose. And actually that's it from my side. Here you have my contact info, and it will come to you by email as mentioned.
Thank you a lot, Aurelia.
You're welcome.
We can go ahead with Daniel. Just keep a track of time a bit. I don't want to interrupt you, but try to.
My fault, sorry.
No worries. It was really interesting. 5 to 10 minutes, all right? Just to, I don't mind to extend it. Actually, I think it's really valuable. But in case someone wants to leave on time, so just let's keep it short. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think we are recording too for anyone that needs to leave a little bit sooner. So I think that's okay. Thanks, Aurelia. I will share my screen. Give a shout when you see it.
We can see it.
Nice. Thank you, Kika. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Dan Pesum. I guess I didn't put my name up here, but
Dan, I think that you are sharing the other screen.
Which one?
We see the notes and.
It's weird. What do you see now?
That's right.
The PowerPoint, yeah.
Okay. And then when I do this, do you still see the PowerPoint?
Just 1 second. We see the same?
The same, yeah.
So you're seeing, what are you seeing? Are you seeing a slide?
PowerPoint in like edit mode.
Not in presentation mode.
It happens.
PowerPoint.
It happens usually when you have multiple screens. If you can disconnect the other screen and present the only screen you have, that could help Dan.
Okay.
You can go and present like that. I can read it. All right. I don't know if the rest of you can do it. If you make smaller the notes section, I think everybody can see it well.
It's fine like this.
Okay, let's try this. Okay, so yeah, my name is Dan Pesum. I'm Canadian. I was in Select Intake 2017 at KTH and TUE in my second year. I'm currently working in Amsterdam. I'm a product manager of the billing and roaming products at Greenflux. Greenflux is a cloud-based EV charging software platform. So basically we offer software for charge point owners, so companies that operate charging infrastructure, and e-mobility service providers, who are basically the companies that manage drivers and allow them to access charge points. So how did I get here? How did I end up here from Canada? I graduated from the University of Alberta back in Canada in 2009 as a Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering. And I spent the next 7 years doing engineering project management on big pump and pipe systems. So I come from a really different background, despite always kind of being around the energy industry. So our big clients were mostly oil and gas. So I was really involved in that world for quite a number of years. Spent a lot of time in the oil sands, in the mines. And by the end of 2016, I was pretty burnt out. I was pretty over it. I was starting to think more about what I was doing with my life and kind of realized that I was playing for the wrong team, but I need some time to think. So I basically took a year off. I took, in the winter of 2016, we moved to the mountains. I spent the winter skiing and just kind of journaling and thinking really hard about life. Eventually that winter sort of decided to apply to InnoEnergy. I got accepted, obviously, and headed to Sweden in the fall of 2017. So when I got there, met all my great classmates. One of them was Lara Deplush, a Dutch woman. She initiated, she basically founded an event called the EIT Collab Speaker Series. And I started helping her organize those events. They were a lot of fun. It was basically a sort of collaboration between EIT or KIC InnoEnergy and KIC EIT Digital. And the events sort of focused on the digitalization of energy. And so it was kind of part a speaker series and then part sort of co-creation sessions of trying to just get energy students and digital students, or kind of more programming side, together to try to come up with some cool ideas and maybe spark some startups or something. So through that, one of the companies that we invited to speak was a small startup in Stockholm called Greenlytics, who are still going strong. And Greenlytics is a data science company working in the energy business on weather forecasting. So I kind of, Lara and I both sort of hit it off with the founder of this company, and we both actually went to work for him. We did an internship with him, doing sort of business development and market analysis on where they might be able to launch products in Europe and outside. So that was really interesting, and that kind of gave me my first introduction to data science, which I had never even really thought of before as a topic or a sort of area of study. So yeah, after that, by this time I'd started looking for a thesis. I actually started quite early looking for a thesis, probably in December or January of first year already, kind of for a specific reason. I knew pretty early I wanted to get involved in e-mobility. And I knew that the Netherlands was probably kind of one of the epicenters of the e-mobility industry. And so I knew I wanted to go there and write a thesis. I knew I wanted to do it with a company. So pretty early on, I just started cold calling and emailing companies. Yeah, one of these, we also knew we didn't really want to live in Eindhoven, so focused more on the sort of north and west of the country, and was able to find this fit with Greenflux. One thing that was really important here was that I'd been kind of pitching business ideas to these companies for my thesis. looking at economics or business cases around charging. But Greenflux didn't have anything like that. They only had a very sort of technical, say like data science focused topics that they were interested in researching. And so I thought about it a lot, and I talked to a lot of friends around Stockholm, and I talked to the founder of Greenlytics, who of course knew quite a lot about data science. And they all, really encouraged me to just go for it and try to learn it. And so I went back to Canada for the summer, and I studied really hard and taught myself Python, and came back, moved to Amsterdam later that summer and started working on the thesis, and really glad I did. Greenflux is a great company. I spent the year writing my thesis with them, going to Eindhoven once a week or once every couple of weeks to go to a class once in a while, but really focused on my thesis, got really absorbed in the work. We were doing work to use predictions to improve a smart charging algorithm. So yeah, had a great time. And I ended up eventually staying on with Greenflux. So that would have been August of last year in 2019. I graduated and started right away in the operations department with Greenflux. I did that for 7 or 8 months. So within the operations team, I was doing, and that was kind of more based on my previous experience as a project manager. I was doing really project management focused work. So onboarding new clients, sort of overseeing custom development work, do lots of training and this kind of stuff. But I was getting a little bored of it. It wasn't quite technical enough for me. It was more, I would say, on the business development side, or kind of account management, you could say, technical account management, I guess. So an opportunity came available earlier this year to move into the product team at Greenflux. And product is sort of the, if you think of a Venn diagram, your product is sort of the intersection of UX design and development and business. And it's kind of taking all of those things and setting strategy and designing features and doing sort of market intelligence and competition analysis, and sort of in a very technical way, executing strategy at a software company. So it's been a great fit for me. It's really interesting market, the EV charging market. Really fast growing, fast changing. It doesn't take very long to become a sort of leader in the field, you could say. So yeah, it's been a great experience so far. Now, a few pro tips. I think we've already touched on most of them, but the first I would say is ask yourself why. That year that I took off after I quit my job was totally invaluable for me. I spent a lot of time asking myself what I value and what my goals were, and I really let that drive my decisions. I think it's important not to get too caught up with, what your dream job is or something like this. I think there's so many things that go into what makes a job good that you really need to start just with your values and kind of follow your gut, like Aurelia had said earlier. Just look for people that you identify with and that you get along with and that you think you can grow with, and then just see how it goes. I mean, if it's not working out, you can always switch jobs. Just don't get too caught up in that decision process. The next, of course, I think everyone said already, is talk to everyone, and be confident about this. I mean, I think it's important to realize that most people like talking about their expertise. So if you call someone and just feel like you might be bothering them, you're probably not. I mean, it's probably the easiest questions they're getting all day. And they'll probably have a great time talking to you. So just learn as much as you can from everyone in this sort of great InnoEnergy ecosystem. And finally, take the risk. Do the thing that's difficult for you. I think both with my thesis selection and moving into the product team, those are big risks for me. I was leaving my comfort zone in both cases and doing something really challenging. And it's been so rewarding on both counts for me. So I really encourage you to do the hard thing and really go for it. That's it for me. Yeah, feel free to reach out.
Thank you very much, Dan. Last but not least, Balaji, go ahead.
Thanks, Vangelis, and thanks to previous speakers. Can you see my screen, guys?
Yep.
Great.
Yes.
So yeah, welcome to all. Thanks to organizers, of course, and Vangelis especially. Thanks for arranging this. And as my predecessors beautifully highlighted many key points, I would like to mention that what I have seen that in my perspective within my experience. So that's what I'm going to share here. Not a presentation, but then it's just a sharing session, I would say. But foremost all, I really feel that turning on your camera, if you're in a position to turn on and sit back to listen, would be great, because that could enable us to see you all and connect in person, and do it encourages any digital speaker. Just for you to know. Let's go forward then. Yeah, I just categorize the experiences into semesters basically, and then I have a takeaway, but then I also have a takeaway in every semester in the slides. So it's 10 minutes. I'll try to freeze it in 10 minutes. The first semester, I would like to call it as an assimilation process of my master's. It's like a new country, new city, new culture for most of us. I was at Sweden, Stockholm, KTS, like most of us. It was a very good experience, the best in the InnoEnergy to the starting experience, because KTH is like like a university, kind of a Harry Potter feeling, where you have a nice campus, very good people, and the ecosystem is on the whole, it's super supportive for us to study. But then I realized I should start exploring myself, not just limited to the university, but then doing in other activities. Like I was part of a international consulting network, where in 4 time zones, we just worked on a project for a Brazilian company, and also did a project with FerroAmp as a part of a course. But what did I take away from the first semester is that I realized that grades are important. I'm just, so here you can see in all my slides, I have experience with learning. The learning is something that I realized that these are the learnings are valuable in my current experience at Volvo Cars. The grades are really important. More than that, we need to make friends. It's a new experience, because I could able to see diversified people around them and around me, and I could able to relate many individual characteristics, and I just made friends with many of different nationalities, and I started to realize that multitasking is a need of InnoEnergy master program, because you're not at another master program, right? It's InnoEnergy. It's already a dual master program, so you have to start doing multitasking in your very first semester. I just used it for settling up on courses sort of experience in my first semester. As Dimitris mentioned, we also had experiences in the form of trips to these universities in the first semester. What I learned personally is that networking. There's always a trick in learning things from these trips. The first and foremost is to connect with the people around there. Try to initiate some sort of a collaboration with them if you can, able to think every aspect in the linking process, where you could able to relate yourself with the content that the universities or the trips provide you. International contacts are always worthy when you're working for companies like Volvo. For example, I still have a contact with the Grenoble professor, and networking will certainly help in these kind of trips. Trying to be really helpful in these situations with the global pandemic in place. Being online, these days, when I was giving a talk to a university here in Sweden, I always felt that leaving an impact of whatever scale is a key for an online way of trips. For example, when as I mentioned, when I had a course of online, I proposed a further extension of the tech that he taught us in the online forum, and I was like, yeah, I mean, he's super impressed, and still we are in good contact, even though the project didn't carry forward. We are still in good contact, even though I have not met him even once. So use the tools wisely. LinkedIn is the key, where you could able to establish a network with the industries, as well as creating a sort of inquisitive nature. Exploration is what I feel I take away from this first semester. Second, since I started slowly getting into the pace of contacting industries and professors and sort of a networking phase, I tried and I initiated even more networking into my master program through these sort of hackathons. There are abundant amount of hackathons happening these days. You guys are fortunate in that way, because being online, you could able to attend every hackathon like every other weekend. So it's a process of initiating something, kind of creating responsibility on your own, and start building your network. In addition to that, you can able to start thinking of something which you're passionate about. You could able to solve a problem. You could you can stand in a stage and say whatever you want to make the impact that you wanted to create, and it creates sort of a competitive mindset, which is healthy in the current era, and of course a lot of teamwork, because I could able to initiate a team. I could form a team. Something, for example, I was in Germany for the energy efficiency hack. I even don't know anyone there. I just went there. I formed a team along with the team with the 5 others, and we even won the hack without even knowing them all before. That was a very good experience, and that's all what I felt. You guys can able to leverage as a part of network in your second semester, or whenever you can. Again, multitasking. So whatever I mentioned in the first semester, carry forward to second semester in addition to what I mentioned here. So just get ready with doing multitasking. Yeah, it's a session that gives me, it's a semester that gives me a sort of a create spread mindset. And the summer. So your only summer as a student, guys. So build your profile is what I say. I was part of 2 internships in addition to my business school. I was intern at CERN, Geneva in Switzerland on an entrepreneurial as well as techno internship project. And I also supported a InnoEnergy funded startup out there in Lausanne in Switzerland called LED Safari. Sorry for the font here. But yeah, what do you gain from that? So it's your only summer, as I mentioned. If you can able to utilize it properly, you could start building your industrial career profile. It gives you sort of a exposure to the industries and how they can the base of working, the base of thinking, how industry environment works, and it also enables sort of a teamwork. You could able to collab with the experienced professionals. For example, I was having meetings and interactions with top scientists out there in CERN, which was enthralling experience, seriously. And it gives you a lot of diversity. You could able to travel or do online e-travel. I just want to call that way. And project experience is adding value to a resume. So if you can clearly see the trend, we are trying to build a profile. So that's what I mentioned here. We are trying to build a profile as a part of this master program, which will, I'll just go through the advantages of why building a profile helps you at the end of the master, as pointed out by Dimitris earlier. Third semester, I was trying to integrate, you're already getting master in becoming the master graduates, and, new country, new experiences are not new because you have been there, you felt that you started getting comfortable there, right? So, but establishing in a new place is a new thing right here. So focus on getting your work published and, sort of establishment that you can able to bring out from your work. For example, I was funded by Indian, sorry for the font again, energy, it's Indian government. So basically they just had a power conference. So I was part of that and tried to present our work as a team. and also collaborated with Taylor, a startup out there in Netherlands. I'm the one it's again funded by a select senior, trying to help them. And the main thing, the key thing I would say, is to think about your thesis. This is the main task here for your third semester. Designing your thesis and making a very good foundation for your thesis gives you a very good impetus. Start thinking about it. And I have 3 pictures, because a thesis is something that gives you sort of a firm hold of your passion and try to build the tools that's needed in the industry. For example, AI could be a tool, and data science, as mentioned by Dan, is a tool on your passion, which is energy, for example. And try to get some accolade that adds value to your profile. Again, guys, networking, multitasking. So you're getting master, right? 4th semester for me was sort of a target phase of my life, where I did my thesis along with ELAD, then Dutch government e-mobility initiative with Alliander, again a Dutch company. Also, still I tried to carry on my part-time with Taylor in addition to the thesis work, where I started focusing on what really is important out of my 2-year journey. A clear focus and target that you want to fit in yourself to achieve what you want to achieve based on your passion is what I try to focus here. For me, there are multiple ways to achieve your target. Can go to either industry or academia, as mentioned by Dimitris, or could be a new way. But whatever it is, try to build your base and try to have a clear focus of it. For example, in my case, I wanted to be a part of industry, but still I want to be a part of a big industry with the agility of a small startup experiences. Then I chose the current one, which is like I'm a global graduate at Volvo Cars. It's like a startup experience in a big corporate. I could able to design my own work. I could just work on whatever I want, basically. But again, the advantages of multitasking and networking helps you in this space very much to find whatever you want to achieve in your life. So now this phase, I would like to call it as a mastering dual masters. and now currently at Volvo Cars, I'm trying to drive the digital electrification products with quite some teams here. Which is something what smart electrical networks and systems taught me, right? So basically, it's trying to implement whatever I've studied within Volvo Cars as a part of their electrification motive. One thing I would like to mention in this digital era, the questions that can help you is to ask questions. How can you network? Why do you want to network with a person? So we all have highlighted a point called networking, but what is the purpose? What do you want to get out of a networking? Just get that right. Not a clear result, could not, you don't have to expect a result, but it could be in any form of kind of a learning, or could be a specific point that you would like to address with that network, or could be another potential contact from that network. Just have a clear focus of why you want that network. How you can able to manage time effectively. As you can see in many slides, I have this nice icon because I like to do multitasking. For those who are fan of doing one thing at a time, you can try a thing called multi-threading, which is like a process in a computer architecture where you can just focus on one thing at a time, but doing multiple things in hand in a concurrent fashion. So just there are many theories out there, but you have to be clear of what is your target is. You will definitely derive to that phase as you can see in the process of deriving to the target, but just get to make it clear before you finish your master's. And profile. So once you have a clear target, you can able to shape up your profile and can able to excel your master program. That's all I would like to share as a part of my learning experience in this 2-year wonderful experience. And thank you all. Wish you all to buy a new Volvo in the near future. And you can contact me using the LinkedIn.
Don't do marketing, Balaji. Thank you.
I also wish that Volvo is one of our newest customers at Green Flux, so everyone should go buy Volvo, definitely. now that there's two people saying it, you know,
Okay,
it's
too much
must be true.
marketing, too much
Yeah.
marketing, guys. Okay, thank you a lot. Thank you for staying. We are like 10 minutes over time, but I think we're gonna skip the Q&A. Now you will have the email, so you can contact directly. But what we would like to do, and is really important for us, is what Sid is presenting you right now. Actually, is the feedback session. It is for us to give us an idea to repeat the same thing, tailored to the audience. All right, tailored to the needs you have. So you have the link in the chat, and now Sid briefly can explain you how that works.
Right.
Go ahead, Sid.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Evangelist. So you have the link in the chat. So please open that up and you'll see a poll in front of you. So everybody, please choose the option that's best for you. Soon we'll get, when we have around 10 or 12 responses, I'll move on to the next question. So these are just warm-ups, but later on we're going to get to topics and fields that you're really interested in. And we hope that through this, we'll get an idea of what you'd like to see talked about, so that we can try to plan future events around this. Okay, so okay, I see that we already have 13 responses. I guess that's pretty good. Then I'll move on to the second question. Yeah, you can go ahead with this. Okay, great. Yes. Yes, and this is open to everybody, of course. It's not just participants with speakers, organizers. Everybody can put in their preferences here. Yes. Okay. I'll wait a few more seconds so that people can fill this in. All right. Okay, I guess everyone's done with here. Then, right. So this is key. Please fill in as many industries that you're interested in as you like. I see we have a lot of diverse interests here. And it's great to see that there are a lot of responses coming in. Batteries comes twice, which is good. That means that people are really interested. So if something that you see here is something you're interested in, please put it in again the second time. That way we know that more people are really into that. Okay, brilliant. I'll give it 10 more seconds. And if you want more time, please speak up. Okay, all good. Response is still coming in. Keep going, keep going. Nice. Okay, sorry, if anyone had something to add there, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to move on. All right, and this is the last question.
the point of that question is to try to find alumni in those specific locations and to provide you more specific feedback in those countries. But if it's diverse, we will keep it diverse.
Sweden, 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 Sweden. I see a lot of love for Sweden.
That's a trend. That's a trend.
I don't know. Have you guys been to Sweden? You sure you want to work there?
Yeah, exactly.
They say the winter is hard, eh?
Much of work for you, Balaji.
No, Sweden is still a very good place, except the winter.
Yeah, it's full of
The
Swedish
winter
people.
lasts 10 months, so.
Way too many Swedes there.
Oh, wow.
All right.
We have someone contrary here.
That was
No, doesn't help. Not in Sweden. It's not very helpful. Anyway, I think we are good. We are going to process that information and we try to see the trend out of it and try to build an event based on that. I'm suggesting to skip the Q&A since you're gonna have the emails to contact each speaker individually. But if I mean, we can have like 2-3 minutes if you want to speak up, do a general comment from the audience. Please do so right now. I don't know if they can raise hands here. See, do you know that?
Yes.
Yeah, they do. So yeah, raise your hands and we can unmute and comment if you want.
Yes, I think under the participants menu, you can raise your hand, but yeah, feel free to speak up.
I mean, you have the reactions button, so you can use that. All right, silence. So, okay, thanks again for participating. Thanks a lot the speakers presenting their experience, their personal point of view. I think was beneficial for everybody. You can continue the conversation through email, and we hope to see you next time, providing even more info regarding to your suggestions here in the feedback form. That would be all. Have a good night. Take care, especially during those times, and hope to see you soon online, of course. Take care.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and a
Merry
Happy New Year, everyone.
To everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.